Good afternoon. My name's Ashley Wilson, and today we're going to go over how to set up a Google Classroom for you to use in your class. Now, this can be used in any grade level and really any subject or content area as well. I have used it for a couple years, and I have found it to be an amazing tool for both myself and my students actually enjoy it as well, for me to be able to communicate with them. I can post all of my class notes and upcoming assignments. They can turn in assignments to me if they're going to be absent, as well as just being able to refer to this whenever they need to. Our school is a Google based, and they really push the one-to-one initiative. So every student has been issued a Chromebook. So Google is something that they are all very familiar with, and all teachers have to utilize Google Classroom. So we're going to go over a couple of the things that I think is important to basically just get you started. So we're going to talk about creating or joining a classroom, setting up and designing it how you would like. We're going to talk about how to post an announcement and also add those class documents like your lesson plans, your notes, or any kind of quiz reviews, or even an assessment. There's also a really neat grading option that has just become available, as well as how students can connect this classroom to their Google Calendar so they always have access to it no matter where they are. So to get started, the first thing that you are going to need to do is you are going to need a Google account. So if you go to the Google homepage, like Google, and just hit enter, and if I go to the home page, you're going to see right here is where you can make your account. Now I'm going to switch over to mine. If you do not have an account, I suggest you pause the video and make yourself an account. It is super quick and easy, and then come back, because then you can have access to all of these other documents. So now, these 9 squares is all of the Google accounts that you have available to you for having a Gmail account. So the one we're going to talk about down here is the Google Classroom. So if you click on that, you're going to see how I have a couple different classes here. Now, one is one that I actually did use the past year. The other 2 are ones that I've just kind of made up and played around with. So this is your home screen. Over here, this button is where you can access everything. So you can see all your Google classes. You can see your calendar that is synced with whatever calendars you would like. You can also see your to-do list along with the classes that you are teaching, but also your to-do list and the classes in which you are enrolled in or a student in. So this is where you always want to come back to toggle between the screens. So if I jump back out, I'm back now to my front screen. Now this button right here allows you to either join or create a class. To join a class, you will need a class code, and I'm going to go over how a teacher gets that code so then you can give it to your students. All they then have to do is come in, type in their code, and hit join, and it automatically syncs them to your Google Classroom. But right now, let's go on and create our own. So you're going to hit create class, and we're going to select this. And now is where you can fill out the information. So I am just going to say this will be a pre-calculus class. The section will be for first period. Subject would be math, and room number would be room 315. You then hit create, and it may take a minute or 2 for it to get everything together. And then now it has created your class for you. So now let's talk about setting up and designing it. If you look, this is your home screen in which you will see each time you log on, but also that your students will see every single time they log on. So if you look, it's got the name of the class and the period that I typed in. And right here is that Google class code I was telling you about. So you can always display it larger for the class on the first day, and it gives the students the code in which they type in to that join a class. So that's how a student can join. And then if you look down, I can hit the down button and it tells me a little bit more information. Over here, you can either upload your own photo or select a theme instead of using the one that Google provided. So they have a lot of different ones based on your subject or area or even just interest. I'm going to keep it as the math one. And so now here's your home screen. So announcements, where it says communicate with your class here. Here is where you would type in something that you want to announce to the class, or maybe a reminder like you have an upcoming test. So if I click right here and it says for, and I'm going to say it's just for this one class. You could also select all your classes, and you can select which students you want it to go to. And I'm going to leave it as all because I don't have any students in this classroom yet. So share with your class, I can say, welcome to Pre-Cal. I'm looking forward to working with you. Please check out the first day documents and first day documents and assignments. Now, when you do, you can either add a file or link if you need to. And also when you post, if you hit this arrow, you can either post it immediately, you can schedule a time that you want it to post, or you can save your draft. We're going to go on and post this one immediately. So it'll immediately be available for all students to see. So now let's talk about our classwork. Right here is where you can add your topics, your chapters, you're creating assignments and questions, use topics to organize classwork into modules or units, and order work the way you want students to see it. So if I go to create, I am going to create that first topic where I said that first day folder that I told the students to go find. If you hit add, you'll immediately see you now have a folder. Now I told them to check out the syllabus for this folder. So if you hit the create button again, this time I am going to assign material. So material would be something that you just want them to see, not necessarily an assignment that they have to do. I'm going to say, please read and come with any questions tomorrow to class. And when I go to add, I can add my file. If I go to recent, because I think that's where it would be, I can select my pre-cal syllabus and just hit add. And now over here, I want to make sure that it says for the class that I need it in, for which students, and now my topic, I want it to go back in that first day folder. So here is where you can select the subtopics and categories. So we'll select first day folder. And remember, I don't want to schedule this one. I want it to post immediately so students can see it. So now if I go back to my stream, I can see where I've made my announcement, and it also lets the students know that I posted new material called the syllabus in a folder. So if we now look at, I'm going to create an actual assignment. So you can create assignments on your own, a quiz assignment. You can just pose a question. And we're just going to do an assignment here, and I'm going to call this prerequisite work. Because usually before my students come to class, they usually have an assignment that's due typically the first day or two. And I'm going to say complete all questions. You will be tested on at the end of the week. So now if I go here, I'm going to select add, and I'm going to add a file. Now here, you can upload things from your USB drive, recents, your own Google Drive folder, which is what I used a lot last year whenever I was teaching. And if I select for my device, I am just going to go here and I'm going to find my Pre-Cal Honors class. And I'm going to type in that prerequisite skills. So here's their Chapter P review. If I upload that, students can either view the file, you can allow them to edit or make a copy. For this instance, we can just do view a file. I'm going to make sure it's to the right class and students. I can assign points. And for this due date, I can select that it is due tomorrow by 12 p.m. And you can also add a rubric or create a rubric if you would like to as well. I'm going to go on and assign this. So now, when I go to my stream, I can see, and students will see, that it says upcoming, due Wednesday. It tells them exactly the time that it is due, and they are able to also just click right here, and it immediately will take them to it. So now, if you look at the instructions, that's where the document is held. And if you pull it up, you can kind of see my Chapter P review. And then for the student work, this allows me to see all of the students who have completed the assignment. So once you have students who join, their names will be here. You can then see who has turned in assignments, how many you have assigned, and then also if you needed to grade it. So that's just some of the things with the grading option and adding assignments. So I'm going to go back to my Pre-Cal home screen. For people, you'll see that I don't have any students here yet. And then also for grades, I don't have any grades yet because I don't have any students. But once you add students, you can either give them the code or you can also even type in their email. So now, the last thing that I wanted to show you all was the Google Classroom. So then that way they can see. So if you go back over here, remember where our classes and calendar doc screen is. If I click on my calendar, it should say tomorrow I have my assignment prerequisite work done. So it's really nice for students to be able to visually see it. And I know I usually have my own Google Calendar that attaches to my phone. So it's nice to have those alerts come to me whenever something is due. But if not, you can always just go back to your class. You can see this, and I can see everything as well as the students. So that's just a little bit on how to at least get you started on setting it up. I promise the more that you play around with it, you will truly enjoy all of the features that it has to offer. But I hope you were able to learn something from this. I hope you can utilize it some way into your classroom. And I promise it is very user-friendly and the students really do enjoy it. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you actually have a fun time setting up your first Google Classroom. Bye guys, hope you have a great day.